I'd like to welcome y'all to the LK Sport Podcast. On this episode, me and my dog G Money here. We'll be going over the play-in for the NBA. A little update on MLB. What else we got to talk about on this? Oh, yeah, let's start off with this. Let's go and turn this on down. I just thought about something. Let me, round of applause. UConn Huskies.
National champs.
Y'all
National
did it.
Champs. That we did.
Last Monday night, UConn took on San Diego State. They brought it on home. Number 4 or 5?
Number 5.
And last one was 2014.
14. All 5 since '99. So
how you feel?
Good, man. It's good. They deserved it. They whipped everybody's ass. So hopefully they can run it back. I know Hawkins declared for the draft, but he's the only one so far. So hopefully those guys come back and they can run it back. They got a good recruiting class coming in. A couple, one McDonald's All-American, but they got a top 5 recruiting class. So maybe they can run it back.
I mean, Hurley got a program. He said a few years back, just wait.
He said, get us now. Get us now.
We coming. I know we missed out on this past pod. We anything else we missed during the week other than Easter? Happy Easter,
Yeah, happy Easter, everyone. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's like you said, start of baseball season, so it's nothing. Nothing. Everybody's played 9 or 10 games, so I haven't missed too much there. So
right. So let's jump into the play-in. The regular season for the NBA is over. We got the play-ins tonight, starting with Atlanta and Miami, the 7th and 8th seed. Miami's the 7th seed. Atlanta's the 8th seed. Atlanta is flying to Miami. Miami took the lead during the season, 3-1. They won the series 3-1 during the season here. Atlanta finished the season 41-41, and Miami finished the season 44-38, if I'm not mistaken. Atlanta's rolling out, their regular Trey, DeJounte, DeAndre, Collins, Capella with a bench of Bohan, Sadiq Bey, and Double O. And then Miami is a toss-up. I don't know if we're going to get Lowry or Vincent at the 1. You got Butler going to be out there, Hero going to be out there. You got a mix-up of Max Strus and Caleb Martin kind of combination, forwards there with all those playing certain players. Then we got a Big Bam out of Bayou there. So
they kind of match it up depending on who they're playing and whatnot with the hell of a coach there in Miami.
Yeah. Ed's coach way is Spoelstra. I'm going to go ahead and give you mine. I'm going to say Atlanta upsets Miami tonight in Miami. Trey gets it done. DeJounte steps up, guards Jimmy Butler or Hero. He's going to get in the passing lane. DeAndre going to step up, get in the passing lane. They're going to guard these boys. Whoever try to guard Vincent or Lowry can't hold Trae Young. I think Trey gets it done. I think he puts the team on the back here. All the speculation, him might be traded this offseason. Atlanta got permission to seek offers for Trae Young. So I think Trey, this it. He goes out there, beat Miami in Miami.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I think I'd probably Atlanta is a 5-point underdog, so I'd probably take the points. Probably take the points there. I think it's close. I think these will be the 2 teams that come out, but I think Miami beats them, and then Atlanta beats the winner of the other game. But it's gonna be close. I just think I like the playoff. Trey and those guys. A couple of those guys made that nice run a couple of years ago, but Miami's just very, they're true and tested here. They've done this. This team is the core of this team has been together for a few years. They've made it to the finals. They've made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they love Spoelstra as a coach. I think they pull it out.
I think there's the Celtics' worst nightmare as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, Boston is great. They're going to be great. They're going to be hard to beat, but Miami's so gritty. And some games.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah, so that would be a great 2-7.
I can tell you this. Here's one prediction that will come true. Whoever wins this game, I will be rooting for against the Celtics. That will come true. I promise you that.
I don't know if it's gonna do any good, but
Probably won't. It probably won't. But
because
I can wish.
Missoula got them boys ready to roll. I mean, Tatum, Brown. Maybe some concern with his finger. He cut his finger. He might miss game one, but they said he should be ready to go. But like I said, Atlanta upset, playing Boston next week. They probably go. We'll talk about it later. But on that game, just a little bit more. Butler's averaging 25, 8, and 6 versus the Hawks, and the Bayou's averaging 25 and 10 versus the Hawks. So that's kind of concerning. So they're going to have to step it up. Capella and Double O going to have to step it up in the middle of that paint. And like I said, they really technically don't have nobody to guard Trey unless they bring Caleb a big to guard him. But then they'll leave DeJounte and DeAndre to score the ball. I mean, Bojan is due. Sadiq Bey is due. Both of them can score. So I just think we're deeper as in a team, as in scoring. I think we can get it done. I think Double O can get it in the paint. Capella off the oops. Collins, if Collins give us anything, I think they'll pull this one off.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly have the firepower. Like I said, it's a nice contrast there, an offensive versus defensive team there. So,
right on. So let's move on to the other play-in game going on tonight. We got Minnesota at Lakers. Minnesota in the season 42-40. Lakers 43-39. We all know the Lakers turnaround season, which is incredible. This is going to be a rivalry game. You got D'Lo and Malik and Vanderbilt going against their old squad. They already spoke about it, but it took a major blow in Gobert punching his teammate Kyle Anderson, which we can talk about just a little bit. So they had a game day before yesterday, which is kind of an important game because Minnesota would have won, New Orleans lost, and Golden State would have miraculous loss against Portland. They would have been the 5 seed. So from the context I've read, Kyle Anderson goes to they call a timeout. Kyle Anderson coming in the huddle said, Gobert blocked some fucking shots or something. Gobert goes back and said, you get some rebounds. Kyle Anderson, word for word, said, shut the fuck up, bitch. Gobert throws a punch to the man's chest. That's kind of hard to take from a teammate.
I mean, between that and I'm sure we'll get to Daniel's, punching the wall. I mean, that's just a hell of a way to finish the season. It's just pretty brutal. I
mean, it's kind of hard for me to take the F up with the B on top of it.
For sure. I mean, I know you want to try to be good, in that moment there, cameras waving, but, somebody says,
It's instinctive.
Yeah.
As a man, I think it is. Like, what? Like,
yeah. At least you're going to end up in his face or something like that. I mean, maybe you don't have to punch him, but
maybe he thought about it as he was punching him. Like, I can't punch him in the face or something.
That's why he
yeah.
And then, but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's a bad look. No matter what, it's a bad look. I mean, they could have kissed and made up since then, but it's a bad look.
Yeah. But they looked better without Gobert. They put Cat at center. They moved, they went with Cat, Torian, Ant Conley, and Kyle Anderson, and they look damn good together. I don't know if it's going to be enough to beat the Lakers. We all know AD. Minnesota going to be without Gobert. They're going to be without Naz Reid. No bigs to even contain AD. I think this game goes through AD.
And then Daniels is probably an all-defensive player this year too.
Help guard.
He's like their best perimeter defender for sure.
Yeah, he's punched the wall with 2-5, broke his hand. He's out. Even if they make it past this, the play-in game, he'll be out for the rest of the playoffs as well. So, for me, I wrote down AD double digits. Lakers by double digits. No big in the middle. AD's going to take off in this game, and plus, with them losing McDaniels and Gobert being suspended for one game, your bench is thin. You have Jordan McLaughlin, fucking Luke Garza. You have no bench. I mean, your starters going to literally have to play 40 minutes for you to even try to win this game. And I feel like they might just bring it in and be like, okay, we'll just play for the 8th seed. I mean, if LA gets jumps out on them, I think it's going to pretty much over. And I think LA, they're much deeper. I mean, they were 9 deep. You with Vanderbilt, LeBron, AD, D'Angelo, Austin Reed, Rui, Malik, Dennis Schroeder, and sometimes Troy Brown Jr. They rotate 9 healthy bodies in there versus basically your starting 5, because you got to put Taurean Prince in the starting 5 now, and you got to move Cat to the center and Kyle Anderson to the 4. So I just think it's not going to be enough.
I agree. The line is 7.5, and I would take those points. I can't. If the Lakers lose this game, this would be as bad as a loss LeBron's ever had, and he's had some. As much as I love LeBron, he's had some bad losses, but this would be pretty bad the way that team's rolling right now, and the way they're like basically going in opposite directions. These two teams. So
with our prediction, we're seeing Lakers Memphis first round. You want to give a pre prediction?
Man, like trying to pick the West is just like so hard, and especially with that matchup right there is like who's to think like the 2-7 is maybe the best matchup in the first. I mean, it's close. There's a bunch of good matchups there in the first round, but I mean, the problem is AD. If AD is healthy and he's AD like. The Brow, he's doing his thing.
He's past 2 months.
I mean, Memphis. I love Memphis. I love Ja. I love that team. It's going to be. I think that series goes 6 or 7. You know, with
I think it goes 7
with Steve Adams out and Brendan Clark to defend. Just leaves Jaren Jackson, and he gets in foul trouble. It's going to be tough. I'll make an official prediction on Thursday. But so man, I don't know. I love LeBron.
Yeah.
But I hate the Lakers. I love Ja. But today I'm gonna say Memphis still the home. It goes 7 games. They're in home. They take it in 7. Right. Subject to change by Thursday.
I'm taking the Lakers no matter what. I think that the team is better. I think Memphis, you still got LeBron. You got AD that's been on the tear this past 2 months. And no back-to-back games. So AD will be healthy. Hopefully he don't, whatever happens. D'Angelo, like I said, this team is deep now. And
they are. I mean, it scares me. Like AD might sneeze and then he misses 2 games. You know what I mean? Like it's that scares me picking them. That's the scary part with them.
Facts. Wednesday night, we got Chicago, Toronto, the 9-10 matchup in the East, and we got OKC, New Orleans Pelicans, 9-10 matchup in the West. We're going to start Chicago, Toronto. Chicago is the 10th seed. They finished the season 40-42. Toronto finished the season 41-41. Toronto picked it up after the All-Star break. They picked up Jakob Poeltl. They were supposed to trade OG Anunoby that everybody thought Toronto was going to blow it up, get rid of Van Vliet, everyone, Siakam, and they stuck together. They chose to go for it. So I think they're going to come out hard. I think Chicago just going to be too small. But it's going to be battle small versus big. I mean, Chicago rolling out DeRozan, Levine, Vucevic, Pat Beverly, and Caruso. And then on the other end, you got Toronto rolling out Siakam, Barnes, OG Anunoby, Jakob Poeltl, and Fred Van Vliet, which I think Fred going to be the key. He has shot a low percentage this year. He won his worst shooting percentages this year from the 3 and from the field, period. I just think I don't know, man.
I don't know. Championship pedigree there, too, with a couple of those guys, too. So.
What's the spread?
5.
Toronto,
5. I think it's Toronto. I think Toronto takes points. I don't know. I mean, unless you have one of those, and I think Levine is going to have one of those. Like, you have to go for like 45, 50 for them to pull that out. I like the Raptors, their experience, all that. I just like their depth and stuff like that. And I think that they win that game. They may also. I know you guys don't want to hear it. They may send
Miami home.
They may send the Hawks home. But I mean, I'll probably pick Atlanta too. But that will be a hell of a matchup for sure.
Well, I did write down if DeMar and Zach get hot plus Vucevic rebound and making 3, Chicago can pull it out. So that's the only reason. I mean, Chicago got to have a damn good game plan. They got to execute. Levine got to shoot a high percentage. DeMar, he always shoot high percentage. He's always going to get
just not in the clutch.
Yeah, lately. I like DeMar a lot. I would love to have him on my team. But, I mean, the mid-range game, you got to play defense to play the mid-range game. I mean, you got to stop people because people going down fast break points and shooting threes, and you shoot mid-range is not going to equal out. So, yeah. But all in all, if I had to put my money down, I'm taking Toronto. Like you said, I think they're just too big and physical, and the small, like, other than Van everybody's 6'7", 6'8", and can guard their position. So, Toronto.
Yeah, and instead of Van Vliet's been in the finals and Siakam's been in the finals, they just got guys there that are playoff tested for sure.
For sure. Let's switch to the Western Conference. OKC at New Orleans Pelicans. Toronto won the regular season. I forgot to mention that, and they won it 2-1. But OKC at New Orleans. New Orleans led the series in the season 3-1. I'm going to start with OKC. We know what we got. They're the youngest team in the NBA, average of 22.8 years old. You got SGA, I think, first team All-NBA guy. You got Josh Giddey. Well, we'll talk about it later, but maybe second team because he missed a good bit of games here at the end. You got Giddey, can get it done. You got Jalen Williams with the EN. Get it done. Then you got the big Jalyn Williams in the middle. And you got, what's his name? Lou Dort. He's your defender. He guards the best perimeter player. And you got Isaiah Joe, your three-point specialist off the bench, and you traded for Sargent, which he comes in and play big minutes for you as well at the big.
Wiggins.
Yeah, the Wiggins kid plays as well. Then on the other end, you got Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, Jonas Valanciunas. Damn, I just called that man Giannis. My bad on the Kupo.
Not Giannis, but
for sure. Then you got Trey Murphy and who's the other starter? Herbert Jones, which them two wing players can defend their ass off as well. So, I'm thinking upset alert. Even if Giannis got to go 15 and 20, I mean. Damn, Jonas Valanciunas got to go 15 and 20. He has no – I mean, he's the biggest player on the court no matter who OKC puts in the game. He can rebound. We've seen Valanciunas do this before. If Valanciunas can rebound, put backs, pick and roll, pop, hit a couple of those trades he hit every now and then, I think they win. I think SGA – is an arrow above CJ right now, and you got Brandon Ingram getting guarded by Jalen Williams, and Dort can aggravate him just a little bit. I don't like that Brandon Ingram don't assist as much. He just scores. I think McCollum gonna need some help dishing that rock. I don't know if Herbert Jones and what's the other kid, Trey Murphy can hit a few threes in the corner, they can win as well. They've been playing very well this past month, but I'm just a big SGA fan. I like what OKC is doing right now. Just imagine if they had shit right now. And they got some draft picks. They got a very, very bright future. And this would set the city of OKC on fire. If they just win one play-in game and not technically get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I love them. I love them moving forward. What they've done. They have like 800 draft picks in the next couple of drafts. So I do, but I think this has been a successful season, especially no Chet. But I think it ends here. I especially think it ends here because moving forward here, I like the Pelicans to win this game and then go and beat the dysfunctional Minnesota Timberwolves as well. Too.
I didn't think about that. If OKC get by and beat the dysfunctional, they get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, if somehow OKC pulls the upset, I think they. I think they have a shot. I think they have a good shot.
Gobert should go crazy.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you have no excuse. Worst case scenario, Minnesota lose, which we all think he's gonna lose to Lakers. Then they get OKC and lose with Gobert in the middle versus a 6'8" center named Jalen Williams that no one heard of in OKC, and he goes out there and get 10 points and 9 rebounds or something. Oh my God, I can hear the fucking.
But then again, that means that can be a little bit of a matchup problem too. You get Gobert in the pick and roll and things like what Dallas did to him when he was on the Jazz last year, and that's the problem with him. That's why a lot of people thought they were crazy to give up 4 first-round picks for that guy. That guy that is he's a great defensive player, but in today's NBA, he can be a bad matchup and a liability.
True
so
story.
it's
I just want OKC to win. I ain't gonna lie, but Josh Giddey was their top rebounder, so that should tell you much about their big. So I mean,
stay in that lottery. Maybe they get that lottery. They hit and get
Jordan Hawkins.
Get the. I don't think they'll be picking high. I don't think they'll be picking too high to get him. He's probably like in a 10 to 20 range, probably. Yeah. But no, the French kid. I mean, that's who everybody.
Oh yeah,
that's who everybody wants. I've already seen reports of like NBA executives being like, anonymous being like, we won too many.
Who won that technically award? You got who had the worst record? San Antonio or Houston?
It was
Charlotte. I want to say
it was
Charlotte.
Either Detroit. It was Detroit had the worst record, I believe. Yeah, Detroit. Charlotte won 10 more games than Detroit. Yeah. They won. Detroit won 17 games. San Antonio won 22, and Houston won 22. But again, now the way they do the lottery,
it's based off percentage.
Yeah, right? you have a little bit. It's not as you don't have as high. It's hard to move around, but it's not as way. It's way differently now, but. To make it, to try to prevent teams from tanking, but they still tank so that you have a little bit of a better chance because everybody wants this kid.
I like Victor went up on how you say Wembanyama.
Yeah, that's they want him, man. That's I said,
look at him.
I know. I said I read some stuff that I guess I was just saying. I read some stuff that a couple of NBA executives were like. Quoted anonymously being like, we won too many games this year. I wish we had lost a few more games. Like the Mavericks did here at the end of the year. Now
they knew what they were doing. They didn't want to.
And they're being invested. The NBA is investigating it now. It's so funny with all these stuff that these load management and stuff. I think what I think the punishment for Dallas should be is even if the pick ends up in the top 10, it should just go to the Knicks. Still, that should be the punishment. No bias there at all. There's no bias there. But that should be their punishment. The Knicks get the pick, even if it's like number 1.
I mean.
Imagine if they won the lottery. Imagine if they won the lottery and he went there.
What?
Wembus, or whatever, however you say it. Went there.
New York?
No, Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Matched up with Luka there. I mean, I know he's a couple years away from probably being a huge factor, but that'd be pretty sick.
Let's talk about Luka real quick. It's kind of off topic for us, but Luka's what, 24?
Yeah, he might not even be 24 just yet.
23,
he's
24.
He's about to be like first team NBA for like the 4th time, and he's like 23 years old.
Listen, I'm going to say this about the Dallas Mavericks and that organization and Luka right now. We all watched Luka day one come in, do things
he's 24.
Unheard of.
Just turned 24.
Unheard of in the league, coming into the league. He done. Most players take time to be as good as he is right now. Well, he's 6'7", 200 pounds.
230. 32 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 8 assists.
Right. There's no way any other player, if you tell me that's LeBron, KD, Kawhi, AD, name me some more bigs that back in the day prime, Dwayne Wade's, let's think CP's, any of those guys have those stats and miss the playoffs, wouldn't be getting absolute destroyed on television. I feel like it's no excuse for this type of talent to miss the playoffs. No other guy, superstar, even LeBron took the teams that he took. I know we're going to get he was in the Eastern Conference. I don't give a damn. If you're good as Luka Doncic is, top 5 player in the world, it's no way you shouldn't get 4 guys on that court and make the playoffs. You pout a lot. You bitch a lot. You complain. You don't play any defense. You're just an offensive superstar to me. I was mesmerized by you when I first seen you. Now it's coming to fruition. You're missing it on the mental level with your teammates, being chemistry-wise and defensively-wise. You can continue to score 30, 32, 8 and 8, and miss the playoffs, but what good is that going to do? You got to get your teammates involved. You got to get it's within. you got to want a defense. If your team see you playing defense, averaging a steal a game, a block a game, they'll want to do it. It's no knock against when Kyrie wasn't the problem here. Kyrie had an excellent field goal percentage when he came across. He took over the fourth quarter for you. Look at the stats. He still is the best fourth quarter. When he played fourth quarter, points scored, high average. We didn't expect Kyrie to play defense. We never expected Kyrie to play defense, ever. He just wanted to get in the way, bump people, guard, hide. You guard the guy in the corner or whoever, P.J. Tucker or, you know what I mean, the 3-and-D guy that just sitting in the corner. That was Kyrie. This always been. He's just so spectacular with the handles, the layup package, jumpers, three-pointer. He got a complete package. It's hard to put those two guys together and think you was going to win a championship. I blame Mark Cuban. I blame the moves that he made. He went and got McGee, didn't work out. You traded Dorian Finney and Dinwiddie, and you didn't re-sign Jalen Brunson, and you call this bullshit ass job talking about if it wasn't for his parents. Get the fuck out of here. That man is grown. If you want to win, I don't give a if I'm not calling Jalen Brunson Michael Jordan. If he's a stud for you, you sign that man. End of the day, Jalen Brunson is on the court, not his daddy, not his mother, not his auntie, not his little brother, not his cousin. Mark Cuban, Luka Doncic look each other in the face this summer and say, what are we going to do to fix this? You got to fix this. Because after next year, 2024, Luka can say F you and go on by this business. And he wouldn't be wrong if y'all go have another season like you had this year. Luka's gone. I understand Luka saying, I like it here, I love it here. He's supposed to say that. That's what you're supposed to say. Luka 2024, if Dallas don't make it to the playoffs, Western Conference Finals tomorrow, I guarantee you Luka Doncic is not in the Mavericks jersey in 2024.
It's a bold prediction.
Facts.
But in New York Knicks uniform, maybe is that?
I mean, he liked the bright lights. I don't see him not liking bright lights.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's.
LeBron will be out the books in LA.
I mean, I agree with a lot of the stuff you're saying. I think there's Luka. Obviously, he for sure needs to take some blame here. Yeah. I do put more of the blame on whether it's Cuban, the front office, the GM, whoever you want to say. The Kyrie trade was a bad trade. It was a really bad trade. I mean, Kyrie's always a problem. He's always going to be the problem. He's not by his stats, because he's going to put up numbers, but I just think he's just not. But by bringing him in, like they said, you weaken that team defensively, whatever. I mean, they were building they were, as much as everybody wanted another superstar there. Mm-hmm. They do. Not to say that they didn't need another player there, but a guy like Luka, they were building that team the right way. You want some guys that can play some defense, guys that can shoot. You know what I mean? They had those kind of guys.
Luka on Brooklyn right now would be a monster.
I mean, anyway. Yeah. I mean, they're just like he needs to play more defense for sure. I think you've seen some signs of him trying to put in the effort. I think he needs to be in better shape. I think that for sure.
He a donut.
He definitely needs to get in. He needs to be in better shape. I mean, the defense, I feel like there is some effort there. Partly, I think I give Jason Kidd a lot of credit for that, to trying to get, but he's also a bad matchup. He's as great as he is. He's not like, he's a guard and he's not super, super athletic. Right. He's super skillful, but he's not super, super athletic. So I think he's a little bit of a defensive liability, even if he's playing effort, given the effort. I mean, I think there would be more. And people are talking about it, how it's disappointing them not making the play. I think people are not jumping on him yet like they may have some of the other players. I mean, he's still only in his fifth year. He's been in the playoffs. It's not like he hasn't made the playoffs. They made the Western Conference Finals last year, which was a huge upset, because this team should have definitely been in the playoffs, but this team is not a top 2 or 3 team roster in the West. This team is like they're a 6 to 8 seed in the Western Conference. The way, even going into the season, the way that roster, that was a little bit of a miracle run last year when you have a guy that's a top couple player in the league, and they played a great series against Phoenix, and they got to the Western Conference Finals.
True, and I forgot about the Christian Wood factor. You stuck your neck out for Christian Wood, but Christian Wood was never a defensive guy. He scored. I mean, you did nothing to get better defensively. I understand you needed more points. I guess you went.
Yeah, they were before they made that trade for Kyrie. They were okay defensively. They were okay, and then they made that trade, and they became the worst, probably the worst defensive team.
I'm about to read this line. And I'm gonna say it very quickly. JaVale McGee, Justin Holiday, Theo Pinson, Kyrie Irving, Jaden Harden, Dwight Powell, Josh Green, AJ Lawson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Markieff Morris, Frank Tenalina, whatever your name, you're going to be out of the league. Reggie Bullock, Christian Wood, Max Kleber, Davis Bertans, Luka Doncic. It's no way Mark Cuban looked at it like, oh, yeah, chill.
Yeah, it's still that.
It's no way.
I mean, unless you're making, like I said, unless you're looking at it, and again, I'm not sure how anybody makes the commitment to Kyrie long term now that he's a free agent. But like, unless you're looking at it long term, and now you re-sign Kyrie, and then in the offseason you try to bring some defensive players in there, because I mean, if they run this back,
no way.
They'll be on. Maybe they're in the play-in or something like that. You know what I mean? That's where that's probably their ceiling if they run this back.
You got to get a big that can score and stretch. It's so crucial for today's NBA. Your big has to score and defend the rim. Either or. If he can do both, it's spectacular. The Embiids, the Bam Bayous, the Jokic's, the ADs. What's another pretty good big right now? I even like the kid in Utah, Kessler. He offensive rebounds very well. He protects the rim. Defensive rebound. You need those guys. Kessler would be perfect for Dallas. You got it. I don't know what they can honestly do, because the commitment that you made to Kyrie, you got to re-sign him to something, or either sign and trade him. If anybody wants.
I mean, they gave up.
They gave up too much.
They gave up. Yes and no. I mean, it is a trade where if they decided when the season's over that they're just going to walk away, it wouldn't be like the worst thing in the world. But it's certainly not ideal. But I just think, like I said, I think you need Luka's he's a different superstar than a lot of players. He's so ball dominant and things like that. You need to build. Like I said, they were building the right kind of team around him.
Do you think people like playing with Luka though?
I think so.
Since he dribbles the ball 20 seconds out of 24 though.
Yeah.
18.
But if you're open, like he finds you know what I mean? Like I think people do. I mean, you haven't, I would say, I say that too, because you haven't heard any like rumblings of like people being like they didn't like playing with him, and
it'll be just
so. But it's a different animal with him. The team you need to build. Like I said, they were building the right kind of team around him. They just needed a.
Was it so they hit a panic button, you saying?
I think so. I mean, they needed to upgrade a couple of those positions, you know what I mean? But that's the right kind of team you need around Luka. You need like the 3-and-D guys, and some defense, but you need like a little bit, like not to say he's older, like Klay Thompson would be like perfect for Luka. Yeah. That's like the perfect like Robin to him, you know what I mean? That guy.
Let me search up NBA free agent. But back to what I was saying about Luka. Building a team around him. I think if you're a person that can create your own shot, or you feel like I'm a great scorer, it's hard to play with him. Like a Kyrie, it's kind of hard to stand to the side, let Luka do his thing and pass it to you if you so used to dribbling and you running the offense. Like you said, they had a team around him. You had Dorian Finney-Smith that shoots jump shot. That's all he do. I play defense, I shoot threes. And Reggie Bullock. And Jalen Brunson was perfect for those 10, 15 minutes that Luka was out, and he can score and facilitate and do kind of the things Luka did. He's not Luka, don't get me, but you get what I'm saying. So it's just like, to me, it's like, how could you went from, you had the perfect template. You made it to the the final
Western Conference
Final last year. Okay, you looked at that in the offseason when F defense. I'm going to get Christian Wood. I'm going to get JaVale McGee on year 14. That's it.
Yeah, I mean they needed to do more. Even those moves are like okay, those are Woods gives them a little bit more offense, which another score. But what they did after that is just.
But we got to think about the players Lucas played with though. He had a perfect scenario with Jalen Brunson and Porzingis. I mean, Porzingis was kind of injury riddled, which you can't help.
Kind of.
Yeah, but I think you bring the unicorn back. So you send him off for Dinwiddie and I forget who else was in that trade, but
I think that was a good trade because they got rid of him and they brought Dinwiddie, who's another guy too that can. That's why even like Dinwiddie's a guy too when Luka's on the bench, he's a guy that can handle the ball and do things. He's a good defender. He's not great. He's a good defender. But he was a nice little piece of that team too. Even getting rid of Porzingis, who I know a lot.
He had a great season this year too.
He did. He stayed healthy. He finally stayed pretty healthy this year and had a really good year. Now he, of course, in a contract year, go figure. But he'll get paid now, and him and.
Do you bring him back?
I read that Washington was working on a long-term deal with him. So
I'm gonna read out some of these free agents I just pulled up. We got like Chris Middleton, some of the people like D'Angelo Rose. I think they're going back to their team. You got Nikola Vujovic. Mark Cuban loves foreign players. He's 32 years old. What you think he's gonna do? Will Vujovic be in a Dallas Maverick uniform next year?
I think it's possible. I don't know. I'd have to look at their cap and all that, because the NBA cap system is like the most confusing of all the ones because you have to sign and trade guys and do things like that, and you can go over if you guys your own guy and all that kind of stuff. So
I have the perfect guy for the Dallas Mavericks next year, Jeremy Grant.
He would be
perfect.
He'd kind of replace that kind of
and he scores better. So you got him, Harrison Barnes. I'm just naming some players.
Another good guy that would be a good fit there.
Gary Trent Jr.
Yeah, no, he's not bad. I would rather have Harrison Barnes, but Harrison Barnes may, I would think he stays. But
Kelly Oubre.
Where is he now? I feel like what happened to him?
Charlotte. He scored a lot of points for them when LaMelo was out. So
I just feel like he was kind of expected more from him this year.
Josh Hart got a player's option, but we'll see if he go back to New York. That's really it. Got Lonnie Walker Jr., some other guys. But who knows? Cam Johnson. He's a restricted free agent. I'm pretty sure Brooklyn going to try to bring him back, but you never know. But yeah.
Yeah, if they decide they want to just blow that up.
Diable. I see him, and he can fit in there if he can shoot better. He can defend.
He's a hell of a defender.
Yeah.
Not much, doesn't give you much offensively, but a hell of a defender.
But yeah, I know we went on a tangent about Luka, but they deserve it. The shit they pulled this year. I just couldn't believe it, man. You was in the 5th seed, sitting comfortably, 5 games over 500, and you just imploded. And like I said, I don't totally blame Kyrie, but I know we need to move on. But
they were 5-11 when both guys played.
Yeah.
Which is and it's only 16 games, but it was like the worst winning percentage of like a team that has 2 All-Stars on it, like of all time, which is pretty crazy.
Just frustrating to see a guy with that much talent and doesn't just pan out. I think you lose Christian Wood, so you'll have, he'll be off your books. Dwight Powell will be off your books.
Just a shame for the fans too. Even just not to have Luka in the playoffs,
right?
Even if it's for one round, like it had been the previous couple of years before last year. Because he's just like, he's so good. We know how much I love Luka. Luka. I'm a Knicks fan, but I love Luka. But yeah, it's definitely he needs to look in the mirror though and do a couple of things. He needs to come into the season in better shape and. If he can do that, and he
came in the season in better shape. He just didn't give a damn during the season. I guess he just ate what he wanted to. But if you can remember, Luka came in the season in great shape. I don't know what he did during the season. I don't know if he didn't keep his diet, eating pasta and whatever. Drinking beers. I know he made a joke about that during the season. And who could dunk it?
He's still got. He's 24. He's still a kid. He's still a kid.
We've been a little hard on him, but
he's been a professional since he was 16 years old. So you think he would have a little bit be a little bit better with that. But
I think it's to be a great all season for him. I think, like you said, he's going to look at himself in the mirror this off season. Him and Mark Cuban sit down, and they'll put their brain together, and then Dallas will be back in there. But like I said, if Cuban knows, and I feel like Cuban knows this as well, if that Dallas team goes under 500 and don't make the playoffs this year, it's going to be very, very hard to keep Luka Doncic. And it brings up the question: do you trade Luka during the season next year to get something for him? So all this we can talk about.
Yeah, no, that's all. And then with that too, did you see who the other for the first time really, because he's always been, is Dame.
Oh yeah,
Dame kind of came out and was like, I don't want the rebuild. I don't want guys that are going to be ready in 2 or 3 years. And I was like, Knicks. Yeah, man. Every time somebody talks about
the most cap room this offseason.
But those are those kind of guys have to be signing trades.
Yeah,
they have to be traded. He's making like $50 million a year, so it has to be. Those moves have to be trades. So you can't just. But they keep saying these guys, these NBA experts keep telling me that like the next disgruntled guy will be a Knick. Like that's the thing that's because now they've built this culture and now there's less. That somebody brought up a great point is nobody wanted to go to New York before because nobody wanted that pressure to bring them back. But now they've built a little bit of that culture there, showing that they can win. So now players will be a little bit less scared to go there because they all love playing in the Garden. They love the bright lights. So. I know Dame and even like just joking around talking about Luka, those guys are maybe not the best fit with Brunson, but I think to get a guy like Dame, you work that out. You figure that out.
You're gonna win some games with Dame. So how many?
He screams. So does Luka too, but he screams Madison Square Garden. Like Dame time, all that.
Rapping.
Like you know what I mean. Like he is built for New York.
Let's get into some of these awards. We're gonna make it quick. Your MVP, Jokic, Embiid,
Giannis.
Giannis. Yeah, Giannis is there. He's the first player to ever.
I think 30, Embiid wins
30, 10, and 5.
I think Embiid wins it from the voter fatigue, but I like Giannis.
So what we got? Defensive Player of the Year. You got Triple J, Bam Adebayo, and I forgot the other.
I like Lopez.
Brooke Lopez. Yeah, he's in there.
Man, I'm going Bucks heavy here. To start.
I need to find them. I'm trying to find them. Where's the odds? What you use? Let's put
for that one, I'm usually on like the Vegas. I could probably bring it up real quick.
So you say you took in Brooke. Who's the favorite right
now? It was close. It keeps going back and forth between
him and Triple.
Yeah, let's see. Defense, I got it right here. At the moment, it is. Where is it? They're not giving the odds anymore?
I guess since the season over, maybe.
Really weird that they're not.
Let's see if I can find something here. FanDuel has it up, I think. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't see it anymore.
It's really weird. They pulled it down.
But it don't come out till
during the playoffs. So you would think you could still place a bet.
I don't see it. Maybe DraftKings, OddsCheck, or somebody might have it up. But okay, let's say NBA Finals MVP, Eastern Conference MVP. Yes, regular season MVP. I don't see any. They took them down. Like all sites took them down.
Still, I found. I have NBA the MVP up here.
Yeah.
Wow. Giannis is the MVP. No, this is
2023.
This is but this is clearly for next year.
Oh yeah, I see it now. But that's
because I'll gladly take Embiid at plus 500 right now. If that's not next year, I put all my money. I emptied my account.
Oh, here we go. We got Embiid minus 2,000, Jokic plus 1,200, and Giannis plus 1,400.
Embiid's up to minus 2,000 now. So so that sounds like a wrap.
Yeah, it's a done data. But that's the only ones they got that don't have no defensive player of the year, any of that stuff up right now. I don't.
But I think it's between Jackson and Lopez. That's where all the betting was going. It's between those two guys, and
I think quickly locked down the sixth man of the year.
looks like that. I mean, would it surprise me if Brogdon won that because he was supposed to, he was kind of leading that all year. But yeah, I think quickly's kind of locked it up.
And the most improved player between Marketing and the SGA.
I like Marketing.
I mean, he did his great job. I mean,
I think he made the biggest. I'm always weird about that most improved player thing. Like when Ja won it, it was like we know Ja's a star. He just had his had that much better every year. I like the guys that are you're not expecting it. Like we saw the flashes. We kind of saw what SGA could do. So that I don't know. That's who I would give it to Marketing, but I wouldn't be surprised if SGA gets it.
Coach of the year, Mike Brown.
Yeah, that was close. That was the closest one between him and Mazzulla. But I think it's Mike Brown. I don't know how you don't give it to Mike Brown. I mean,
he did awesome.
The Celtics were in the finals last year. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big to know. We can talk about this more in the next one, but I still think that may be a question mark for the Celtics is the coaching. This guy hasn't coached in the playoffs, so. We'll see.
We already know who the rookie of the year, Paolo Banchero.
Yeah, that's over.
Like I said, 6 man. I think quickly will take it home. I think Marketing will take home and improve. Mike Brown will take home the coach of the year. And we miss anything? I think that's it, right? What are the main ones?
Yeah, I think so. Rookie of the year.
I think Embiid got the scoring championship.
He did. Yep.
He did. Assist was it Trey?
It was no. Trey was second. It was number 1. It's so funny. I just had this up before too.
Who was the rebound? I'll pull up rebound, but Trey didn't win it.
Maybe it was Trey.
I know Trey gave them boy 20 assists the other night. I know he was trying to get it.
It probably was them. Because I know somebody who came in second. It was like.
NBA rebound leader 2022. Sabonis got the rebound and winner. And
Harden won the assists.
Fuck him.
10.7, Halliburton 10.4, Trae Young 10.2.
That's the key for Philadelphia, but we'll talk about it on the next pod. Harden got to really step it up this. We know his pedigree in the playoffs here lately. So, and like I said, Sabonis got the rebound chip. So. It's the NBA. We're going to touch on our next episode. We're going to touch on the actual playoffs because it should be a little closer. I think we'll have one last game on that Friday. But everything else.
The 8th seed. They'll still be playing for the 8th seed. So.
But yeah, we'll have a great idea. We're going to break down those playoff matchups. We're going to go in depth a little more. We're going to talk about the matchups, the point guard shooting. We're going to go through, check. We're going to say what side we're taking and we're going to guess how many games you think it'll take and who we got moving on. So before we get out of here, we're going to touch on the MLB for a second and touch up on our bets right now. Right now, the best team in baseball by record is the Tampa Bay Rays. They're 9-0, followed by the Yankees 6-3. You got Toronto 6-4. And then you got Boston, Baltimore finishing up the AL East. AL Central is a tie at the top. Minnesota 6-4, Cleveland 6-4. In the bottom there, you got Detroit 2-7. Then we got LA Angels and Texas at the top of the West. Oakland bringing up the caboose. Atlanta 6-4. We just lost 3 straight to San Diego. Came today and spanked our asses. We put a couple of rookie pitchers out there. They're not quite ready. Schuster and Dodd. I mean, Dodd had a great outing, but when you got a team of veteran hitters over there in San Diego, you got to be precise. You got to hit your points. You got to have some movement. If not, you're going to be looking like we're looking right now, losing 3 straight at home. Then we got Mets 5-5. We got Washington bringing up the caboose in 3-7. Milwaukee 7-2 in the Central. Guess who's in second place in the Central now?
The Pirates.
Shout out to the Pirates, man. You brought McCutcheon home. You got you just lost O'Neal Cruz to a fractured ankle, which is crucial.
Shout out for the Pirates for their 3-game sweep of the Red Sox too. Which is
shout out, Joe. But yeah, Pittsburgh got a spirit moving around. I don't know how that affect them with losing Cruz from what they say at least 2 months. with a fractured ankle. That says it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get that healed up and going. So
yeah, give that another month or two, and they'll be near the caboose of that division probably.
Yeah, because St. Louis is sitting at 3-6 right now. They're going to have to get it together. I mean, Atlanta went down there last week and gave them 3 straight, sweep them out their own building. So it's kind of up and down right now. Everybody finding their way. And in the NL West, guess who's leading the NL West?
The Diamondbacks.
Come on now. So you know what's going on. So it's very early in the season. They on a 3-game winning streak. So it's San Diego. Like I said, they came through and spanked on us.
Every team only has about 152 games left. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. So check on our bets right quick. We got G Money, Seattle plus 86.5. They 4-6 right now.
That's not very good.
Minnesota 84.5. They sitting on 6 wins right now.
Take that. That's a good one.
Cincy on the 65, and they're sitting where?
They're 4-4. So
4-4.
They need to start losing. Braves sweep.
Yeah,
sweep.
We got them this week. Cubs row got 76.5. Cubs over. They're 4-4 right now, so that's decent.
That would be good. I mean, they're 500. That's over. That would be
81.
That would be 81. So that would be good. So
Padres 93.5. They 5-5 right now.
6-4.
6-4.
They're about on that pace. But again,
then Mets
so early
94.5. They sitting at 5-5. Yeah. So that's under right now. Then we got me, the winner. Detroit under 68.5. They 3-7.
2-7, even better.
2-7. Yeah. I don't 8-1. So I got Washington 59.5 under. They're 3-7. I know for a fact.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And they in LA at the Angels on the West Coast. So I think they should lose those two. So, but my only question right now: Blue Jays are 90.5. They're sitting at 6-4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're 6-4. Yeah.
So, and they got Detroit. They got a series due with Detroit. So, I think I'm going to win. So, I think I'm still looking good. I'm not nervous at all. We'll really pick up our heart rate around September, August.
Yeah, we'll be. I mean, I think some of these are going to be close. You know what I mean? Like the Nationals, you'll probably know if they're heading, because that as bad as the Nationals are, like that's a big number. That's a big number.
Yeah, I know. I just think
they got to lose over 100 games, which they very well could. They are a bad baseball team. So,
and I think our division just runs over them the whole year. I mean, I don't think they're better than no team in our division at all. Like, period.
No, they are the worst team for sure.
Also, I want to speak about Israel Adesanya beating Pereira, UFC, what was it? 2 hours. Got so many damn numbers. 287. Yeah, man. He knocks out Alex Pereira to win the middle UFC. I'm thinking about WWE. UFC middleweight championship. Pereira beat him 3 straight, even in amateur, and 2 other times, once in the UFC. Izzy held a grudge against his son. Yeah, like he was knocked out when Alex beat him a while back, and he pointed him out after this one and act like he was knocked out in front of Pereira's son. Did he go too far? Or do you think
that's funny. That's all good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I mean, the kid probably didn't like it, but whatever.
Right. We got Jorge Masvidal. He retired. He lost to Gilbert Burns. He had a great career, over 50 fights from Miami-Dade County. He came in on fire. He came in around the same time Kimbo Slice came in. Rest in peace. He was knocking guys out. He had a great career. So shout out to him on a great career in the UFC, man. Look forward to what you do next. So. I want to speak on a couple more fights. You got Kevin Holland winning the welterweight matchup against Santiago. He's looking for. He said he want to fight a stand-up fight. He want somebody that's gonna thump. He want to basically want that fighter of the year chick. So, and then we got the young gun Rosa Jr. He was rated very high, young kid. I think he maybe 19 and 20 coming up in the UFC. He was 7-0. He lost to Christian Rodriguez in the bantamweight division. So That's a big one for the USC people because Rosa Jr., I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had a lot of betting money on his side in this fight, and he took a L and did some so. Other than that, what other sports we missed? Hockey. Update me.
They all have about 2 games left. I mean, I guess there's some hockey news. The Bruins
set the record.
They set the record. So, yeah, so they've had the most win. They're going to have finished the season with the most wins in history and the most points because hockey does it. They do it by points, but you get for a win is 2 points if you go to overtime and you get a point. So yeah, they're going to break the record for. They've only lost 12 games all year in hockey, which is just insane. Insane. I mean, we'll see what happens when the playoffs start. Hopefully they did this and then they lose.
So they got in hockey. Let me ask some questions. So in hockey, you got a Western Conference and Eastern Conference, or is it called something else?
Yep, Western and Eastern. They used to call it different, but it is now the West and the East for years now, like in every other sport, or not. Well, I guess not in football. So.
Breaking news: OBJ is a Raven. How you feel about it?
I think they had to do it. I think it's 1 year, $15 million guaranteed, up to 18. Right. I mean, nobody else was going to give it to him. It sounds like so. So they got to try. They got to get Lamar back, right? They got to bring him in. Like I don't want that guy as my number one receiver, but when you're the Ravens and you've never ever had a Pro Bowl wide receiver, he's certainly an upgrade. So like I said, I would have gladly taken him as the number 2 in the Cowboys, but as a number 1.
He had to bring them down Cowboys, and I'm like, golly. Yeah, there.
Well, hopefully when Hopkins comes to the Cowboys next, that would be
man, y'all got no talent, man.
When Arizona, that's just another thing too. It's sounding more and more like the Cardinals, because nobody wants to give the Cardinals what they want, so it's sounding more and more like they may just release him, which would be really interesting to see because then he can go anywhere he wants. So
I don't give a damn. You can't release him. I don't give a damn if you get a 6th and a 7th round pick or something. It's kind of just to let somebody go.
Yeah, sometimes it makes sense with the money sometimes rather than.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's it. That's all. Just the money makes sometimes it just makes sense to release the guys.
We got to give a shout out to the Masters winner, Ron. We got to get our hands together.
John Ron, here in Augusta.
Sure.
It's a nice comeback, round. 4th round comeback there.
Yeah,
down 2 shots. I actually watched a bunch of the Masters too. So,
with the weather we had, we really had no choice but to try to watch them.
Which threw that for a loop also too. They all. I mean, he played 36 holes on Sunday.
True story.
He played 36 holes, and I know people are like, "It's golf, whatever." Like, but I don't know. It's
a lot of walking.
It is because I don't know if people know. Because I didn't. There was a long time where I've known it for a long time. I didn't know that you're like golf. They're in the carts. They drive around. But no, when you're a professional golf player playing a tournament, you walk that entire time.
It's like 20 plus miles or something. Right?
Yeah, you walk all those holes. There is no carts. You walk that whole time. So yeah, it's it was a little bit cool this time of year for there in Augusta. So that probably helped a little bit, but. They had to. It was impressive. He was losing. He came back. Koepka's usually a guy that finishes, but he had a bad last round. I mean, not awful, but bad enough that Rahm was able to come back.
Yeah, it was some pretty good golf, man. You got a lot of young guns that play, man. I mean, I think I read Mickelson had a 65 round.
Yeah, he got to mine. He finished tied for second. So he is the oldest player to finish in the top 5 in the history of the Masters.
Oh, that's dope. So we got to talk about Tiger, man. Tiger was struggling with his leg. He said he hurt his plantar fasciitis. That's gonna be my hardest thing on my pod. Trying to put my country sin in my tongue to pronounce word just right. So you just had to work out with me. But yeah, but other than that, it wasn't discouraging.
He did make 23 cuts in a row.
Well.
23 cuts in a row in the Masters, which is now a record. So
I will go on a limb and say if he wasn't hurt, we could have seen him in that last round at under something, maybe even or under. He was at +3 or something.
Yeah, he was +3 when he went through. And maybe it would have been tough. Like he was playing hurt. Like that's what they said. He was playing hurt. Like if it wasn't the Masters, he probably wouldn't have been playing. So
yeah. Do we see Tiger Woods play golf again?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I think whether he wins anything ever again, don't know, but I think he'll keep going out there for a few more years at least.
So I know we're not the biggest golf fan, but I've been reading up some things, and I know that after Tiger officially leaves, or kind of leaving as he is right now, we got a bunch of young guns and Koepka, Spieth, Reed, Cameron Young, Rory, Scheffler. Who is the next guy you think can run off a couple majors?
I think it's competitive. I like Rahm. Scheffler. I think Scotty Scheffler's the guy now. It's funny. Some of these guys they're not even that young anymore. That's just so crazy to think. But that was another thing. This was the seventh, which started with Rahm 7 majors ago. 7 consecutive majors won by a player in their 20s. Which is still, Koepka's 32, which is still, still young in golf terms, but he's not even, he's not even in his 20s anymore.
Yeah.
Rory's in his 30s. Rory hasn't. It's so funny.
He's considered old, right?
Yeah, that's why. What's interesting though is it seems like Rory's like one of the new guys, but like he's won 4 majors. He hasn't won a major since 2014.
Yeah, it's been a while.
9 years. It's like wow, he's been around for that because he was the young gun back then, but. It's competitive now. It's super it's super competitive. There's a lot of good players out there now.
For sure, man. Shout out to Ron one more time. He took home $3.2 million playing golf.
Not a bad payday.
For sure, man.
I'll play 36 holes on Sunday for $3.2 million too.
That's and if you got, I'm scroll on down, the top 53 got paid and the bottom is 43,000. So
what was the bottom? 43,000.
Yeah, if you got 53, and I don't know how many it was and all, but I don't know that much. But it was an $18 million purse, par 72. They played a total of 7,545 yards. That's a lot to walk if you're thinking about it out loud. That's what 24,000.
Yeah, you have to be. You don't obviously don't have to be. You don't have to be in like football or basketball shape or whatever, but you just can't be, you just can't just roll out there. Although, especially, and that's why it becomes, people are like, why can't people win golf events when they're like way older? And I think that probably has something to do with it too.
So I'm going to ask you a very interesting question. Is it the PGA make a Tiger rule of a golf cart?
I don't think so. I think again, not knowing that much about golf, I think on the senior events they're allowed to use them.
Okay.
I think on the senior, but those are like the senior event only though, so not on these regular. I doubt it. I think golf's too stuck in their ways to ever do anything like that. But I think that's just part of it. I don't think they should change that. So I think it should stay like that. So
yeah, I seen somebody raise the question. Greatest Tiger is, would he be the one person to change the rules for?
I guess if it's anybody, it would be him probably.
Well, and they said you have to show medical records, which can be forged. We all know how we can do all that, but
yeah, you're a Patriot fan, so you know about all that kind of stuff. So the testing the line and stuff like that. So. By the way, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right? That's the old adage there. I'm sorry. Just,
How many do we got?
6. Oh, 6. Yeah, 6 is pretty good. It's not bad.
I ain't going to get too rude, but we ain't going to get started on this because when we go to football season, I'm going to be a little sad this year. We had a great run. It's not over. We still got a few pieces, but nothing near what other teams got anymore. So, anyway, you don't start some BS because you don't lift my damn mood up. But other than that, man, we're going to get ready to wrap it up, man. I think we touched base on everything. We had the Masters, had the UFC 287. We had the play-in beginning in the playoffs. We had the OBJ signing. MLB is on the way. Everybody's about 10 games in, 150 more to go. I think that's it, man. I'm just trying to make sure hockey, you said 2 more games, they ramping up.
Yep.
Other than that, I think that's really it that's going on right now that's in motion.
Boston was selected number 1 overall in the WNBA. pick Aaliyah Boston from South Carolina. That just happened just a little
Oh, that's
while
going on right now?
Yeah.
When we're recording this, we record on Monday evening, so she went to Boston.
She went to the Indiana Fever, selected number 1. Aaliyah
They got
Boston.
a couple top 10 pick Indiana Fever, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they took Berger 7th. So I see that too, but
Shout out to the Cleveland Guardians. They playing against the Yankees in the series, so they gonna sweep them. So we already know.
he got to do something. He had to do something. He had to try to.
Yeah,
throw some
man,
shade
because
back.
you really don't upset me with that shit. You ain't said nothing about goddamn Wrigley. You want to bring that bullshit up, man. Listen, man, we got 6 championship. Belichick finna get Matt Jones' ass out of time. We finna crank up. Goddamn, that's it. We gonna win. Shit, no, we not. I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't looking good. But
It can flip around quick in football, though. It can change real quick in football. So,
but we're gonna ease on out of here, man. This was fun to catch up with you after the Easter break we took, man. And we in on positivity here. New logo. So when you see this, we have our new logo out. Excuse me. LK Sport Podcast logo is out. It will be on shirts very soon, probably by the next episode. If you like one, DM me. We'll talk about it, get you one sent to you. And any guests that come on, I will have a shirt for you as well. Also, I don't know what's going on with my voice right now. CST. I have another podcast called Chill, Sip, and Talk. It's more serious. We talk about
than this,
way more serious than this right now. We talk about anything from drugs, love, sex, entrepreneurship, life, trust, honesty. I'm talking about we going deep. That's one of my things that I like to do as well. I like to talk to people, get to know them better, see how they think, and it's kind of therapy for everyone. Like I said, it's a pod where we're going to sit down, going to have drinks. If you're a drinker, I'm not forcing anyone. And we talk about life, man. Everybody's opinion I don't care, from white, Asian, Hispanic, black. We all sit here, have a good time. We talk about, like I said, anything, man. We had a mass killing today in Louisville. Rest in peace to some people over there. We'll sit down and talk about that and how we feel these things can change. And that's what I wanted to chill, sip, and talk. I want you to come be comfortable. People might be in pajamas. We might be in, whatever's going on. But that's something that means a lot to me, which, like I said, you'll be getting that very, very soon. I got that coming, the other side of me. This is more, I take this is my passion. It's sports. I love sports all my life. But this is the other side of me. This is the layer of me. Everybody, this is the LK. But when you get on the Chill, Sip, and Talk, you will meet Laramie. I'm a very sensitive, loving guy. And I have empathy for a lot of people, man, because it's just something that my parents put in me, loving others and helping people around you. So, but yeah, look forward to that. I know I got a little too deep. And anything you want to say before we get out of here?
subscribe to this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Subscribe. Check out the Chill Sip Talk also.
Yeah.
Watch Laramie get deep and watch with some different subjects.
I'm a Gemini, man, so, I got two sides, they say, so.
But check them all out.
Yeah, but, be humble, live humble, stay humble is always my motto, and I'm thankful and grateful for you tuning in to the LK Sport Podcast. Come on, we got to bring the beat back, man. We got to bring the beat back.